Good morning and welcome to LU Life Church, your global spiritual community portal. And this is your host, the Reverend Dr. Donicia Palmer. We have a wonderful topic for you today, staying happy tips. And I have here for you 4 simple staying happy tips. Before we do that, I would like to share a very short chorus with you, 4 lines only. So I'm going to sing it through once and ask you to join me the second time around. But before we do that, we're going to take a pause for a deep grateful breath together. Today we're going to do something. We're going to do an awareness breath on gratitude and hope. We have had are we today? 13 days in March. The year has already taken us to month 3, 13 days in. And we've had we're breathing, aren't we? And so things might not have been exactly how we want so far this year. What does that leave us with? It leaves us with hope. But we can at the same time be grateful for the things that has blessed our lives to this moment. So we are going to combine our hope for the future with what we have had and what we have today. That's gratitude and hope. So when we take that next breath, let us do that with the sense of gratitude and hope. Can we do that together? We're going to take 2 deep, grateful, hopeful breaths. Let's do that together. Hold it and let go. Wonderful. Let's take another deep, grateful, and hopeful breath together. Wonderful. Thank you. So, my chorus, very simple, and it's 4 lines. I'm going to tell you the words to start with. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Joy fills me now. I am so happy. Okay. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Joy fills me now. I'm so happy. Can you join me? I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Joy fills me now. I'm so happy. That's right, you got it. Should we do it just one more time that it really gets down into your soul? Are you ready? Okay. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Joy fills me now. I'm so happy. Wonderful. I got that specifically for us this morning. As we jump into our topic, staying happy tips, I need to ask you one question before we dive in. Do we even want to be happy anyway? No, really. It's a very important part of the journey to lasting happiness. Do we really want to be happy? Now, you might say it stands to reason for me and you to believe that everyone wishes to be happy, just to feel the warmth and the freedom that comes with happiness. This total abandonment to worry, right? You would think that's, isn't that so? But wrong. We couldn't be further from the truth. So many people just might be thinking today, that's not fair. When, listen to the news, there is war going on, or maybe we're missing someone. Maybe we've been discriminated and treated inequality, all around us, happening right where you are, just because of your age, just because of your color, just because of your height, just because of the size of your pocketbook. I know, isn't that ridiculous that people can treat people so different because of how much or how little money they have? Wow. Or maybe people are even feeling low, so low because they've had a news from their GP of a terminal illness. And by the way, I'm going to tell you that GPs don't always get it right. Or maybe somebody has ignored you, somebody has laughed at you, and the list could go on. And so that is so far from our topic this morning, all those things we have just listed. But if you've been listening to news every day, all the time, or if we have been in the company of individuals that is speaking about those things day in, day out, then what do we expect? is to get more of the same. What an unhappy life, right? So let's jump into our tips. Not everybody wants to stay happy, but we're going to jump into some tips to those who would like 4 tips to stay in happiness, like to maintain in happiness. First tip, watch your focus. How do we do that? A simple way, I say, look to the sky. Every time I see the sky, it speaks to me of your love. Oh, how you love me. Oh, how you love me. That's right. That's the. I'm looking at the sky right now, and every time I look at the sky, those are the words that comes to me. Oh, how life loves me, because the sky covers the whole planet. Wherever you are, you're looking at the sky. You look out, and it's what does it speak to you of? It could say, well, it speaks to me of gloom because it's dark. It's not blue. Well, that is your thought. You can shift that thought and think about it like I do, that the sky reminds me of the love of God, the love of life for me. So those things we spoke about that are unhappy exist. But when I look to the sky, no wonder there was a scripture that says, I will lift my eyes to the hills. I will look up. Because when things are not how we want it, it causes us to look down, not just with our physical eyes, but to feel down, to sort of look to those things that weigh us down. So lift your eyes, look to the sky, and begin to feel into that love, feel into the love that life have for you. Am I the only one with a happy problem here? I'm going to tell you right from the get go. Okay, I'm going to admit it publicly, out in the public today, and this is it. Mine is a happy soul. That's right. But it's not, has been that way all the time. No way. Do you know, it's the soul. It has undergone major surgery. It's had its fill with frustration, sorrow, rejection. That's right. Denial and even death. But it seemed like it couldn't drown this because mine is decidedly a happy soul. So, number one is to watch your focus. Number two, what do you think number two is? Is choosing how you wish to feel. How you wish to feel by deciding the tempo of the goal for your soul. Woo, that rhymes. I better say that again. Deciding the temper for the goal of your soul. Then, once you've decided what your goal is, I mean, once you begin to decide, because decision sometimes takes practice. What do they say about practice? Practice makes perfect. So you just decide on the tempo of your goal for your soul. Make it large. Make your tempo high. I just don't want to have a little happiness. I want to have a ginormous happiness. And make that happy ginormous. Make it big. Okay. So the first was watch your focus. The second, how you wish to feel by deciding on the leverage of your goal for your soul. My personal advice is to push the lever all the way up to bullseye. Make it big, make it huge, make it ginormous, happy. So you set your C first, then you set your feel. Okay, so what's the next thing on the list? What do you think is my third tip? You had your C, you had your feel. The third would be speak. That's right. Yay! Give yourself a clap. You got it right. Catch your speak by listening to yourself. Listening to yourself. Now, if I was to ask you to imagine this morning that you're listening to yourself as somebody else, what would you get? What would you get? Would you be the person that you would can't wait to hear each day, to listen in minute by minute? You might say, oh my God, no! But that's you. Are you saying depressing, ugly, demeaning, angry? Actually, the truth is, those we hang out with a lot has a lot to do with how we speak. Listen, I remember when I was residing in Canton, that's in the US, I had some of the happiest and perhaps in other ways the saddest of times. But for certain, I learned about happiness through happy words. Even though my circumstances at that time was imperfect on the ground, it caused my life to change. By every morning when I went out on my track at 5 o'clock every morning, I would go out on my track on field, or sometime in the late evening to escape my situation. I learned to speak kind words. I learned to speak happy feel words. Right out on the field, there was nobody to see me talking into the air, so nobody to say, oh my God, here's a mad woman speaking to herself, speaking in the air. No, so I would shout, I would whisper, I would say these happy words. I said them until they moved into my soul. Yeah, literally, my happy words saved my life and continue to save me today. Save me from fatigue. Are you going through fatigue? Have you ever been in a fatigue situation? Oh my God, it can bring you low. It can bring you that you want to close your curtain and just stay behind and you feel so low. But there is something in the soul that reminds me of that happy, and happy will bring you out. So I was on this field and I started just to say happy because I wasn't happy. And I would repeat the word happy, happy. And it was changing my focus. So I noticed by going around the field and I wanted to do track, I normally started with about 10 rounds. And my fifth round, I was saying happy, happy. And my walk was sort of in tune with what I was saying. And I would happy, 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 happy. And then I started to add other words to it morning after morning. So I would say happy, happiness, happily. And then, it was sort of the harmony that was coming from that. And I would say, harmony, harmonious. And I realized that was helpful. So I would shout out, helpful, help. And I would join the words together. I would say, happy, happiness, happily, harmony, harmonious, helpful. And I realized suddenly that my life was being filled with more joy. My heart was getting happy. My heart was getting joyous. I would add those words. And soon I just was so overwhelmed with the grace. There was just a portion of grace that I looked forward to. And I realized how gracious life was, how gracious God was to me. And it caused me to smile. So I would say those words, which made me feel good. So sooner or later, by about the fourth month of going on my track, you could very well get the picture. I would be out there and this would be my words. Happy, happiness, harmony, harmonious, helpful, joyous, joy, overcome, oh, overcomer, overcoming, grace, graceful, gracious, smiling, good, goodness, God, godly, and so on. And sooner or later, I was going through the dictionary. I started at A and I would begin to think about happy words that would start with A, B, right through to Z. And my life, it changed. My circumstances changed, and so on. So I'm sure you get my gist. And once daily, I would do the track, me and my words. Soon my focus shifted slowly. And I'm going to advise you, it will always be slow, but you will get there. So what we have was seeing happy. That's right. Then we have two, feeling happy. Then three, we just had speaking happy. And I'm going to give you a little tip, which might sound corny or even silly right now. But the tip is this: what you see and keep on seeing is what you hear. What you feel and keep on feeling is also what you hear. Just as what you speak is what you hear. You pull to yourself that which you are. So you are designing, because you're designing a trail in your brain. It is listening. Your brain is listening. So, honey, that's the route. What your brain hear from what you're seeing, what your brain hear from what you're feeling, what your brain hear from what you're speaking is the route your life's gonna take you. In the midst of war, you can find peace in your heart and soul because the soul is a survivor. What you fill her up with will anchor you through the darkest and most tremendous, turbulent time. So, okay, my last tip. Can you guess what it's going to be? So, my first tip was your focus. Second was your feel. Third was your speak. And last one for staying happy is learning to love lovely. Right? Yeah, that's right. Did you hear right? Are you saying honestly? I'm saying honestly. I swear it really, really worked. Absolutely worked. I must warn you, it might lose you fake friends, but who needed those anyway? It may even cost you relationship, but it will earn you happiness. Not just the giggly sort, which is just a cheap, watered down version that many people hold about happiness. And that's a little wonder that most people are miserable today. You listen to their prayers. Oh my God, it's so chronic. But set your focus. Decide how you want to feel and set a goal. Leverage your goal for your soul, how you want to feel. Catch your speak. Just catch how you're speaking and turn it around. Turn it around as if this is the person I want to hear day by day. This is the person I want to be with because I like what they're saying. So you listen to what you're saying. Catch your speak. Fourth and last, learn to love lovely. And so you ask me, how do we do this? You do love to love lovely by getting rid of or exchanging lack, for instance, for lovely. Is there a mess all around you? Are you a messy person? Begin to love lovely. So change if you do you know what you have around you and persist on doing or saying or whatever, it talks about to you about what you love. You might say, no, but I don't like it. Well, you would change it then. Change it for lovely. So set that goal that I am going to learn. Remember, I use the word learn, learning. And how do we learn? By practice. So practice to love lovely, exchanging our lack for lovely. Don't say within myself, I am wanting, I am lacking. Look within and see lovely because there is loveliness in your soul, okay? So exchange your mess for lovely, exchange or get rid of hate for lovely. Remember, we are learning to love lovely things. We are learning to love lovely situations. We are learning to love lovely feelings. We are learning to love listening to lovely things. We are learning to love lovely thoughts. Exchange or get rid of unpleasant for lovely. Get rid of toxic for lovely. This is the Reverend Dr. Donicia Palmer, wishing you a lovely and a happy week and life. Please remember to donate if you haven't already done so. How? You can go to this description box below and you will find a link that takes you to PayPal, or you can go directly to the PayPal website and make your donations to lulifechurch@gmail.com. Thank you in advance. Now, I would like to say thank you to all those that have left such encouraging and inspiring comments. They not only give me joy, but to others who visit the site, it's always a welcome opportunity to listen and to hear what other people are saying. Leave us a thumbs up, but better still, pass this segment on to somebody else. It then will be you leaving them the happy tips, ways to stay happy. Sending you lots of love and wishes for a happy and a lovely week. Signing out, the Reverend Dr. Donicia Palmer. Thank you.